negative.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to actually give a big update. We're going to be talking about the VIX. So this pretty much measures the volatility in the market, and if you can tell, this thing has died. It just went down, like down. So it broke the key support line that it has had for quite a while. It's been trending for quite a minute here. If you can tell, though, it did come back to test this long-term linear line. This is the key level of support that we've been trending on for quite a while now, since 2017. So right here is where I believe we may find some sort of support. And because we are pretty much, as far as the VIX is concerned, it's dead. What happens to bottom? There's only one way left to go, right? Up. So don't get caught off guard. This is pretty much just going to find support and bounce really hard. At some point, it's going to happen, whether it's within the next couple of weeks, more than likely, just because the Fed does go ahead and speak again on the 1st. That's when they choose their interest rates. So whenever that ends up happening, that's pretty much going to be marking the bottom as far as the volatility, because at that point we should see things spike, especially if they go ahead and surprise us with a higher interest rate. So we'll keep that in mind. But as far as this is pretty much what you've been seeing correlated to the small pump, the fake pivot, I guess, if you want to call it that. But overall, we're going down. It's good time to take advantage of these markets and like take profit. But as far as this, it is going to go ahead and go down. I believe we're going to start seeing that sometime within next week, if not the week after, just because I believe we're going to go ahead and find support first, which might take about a week to find. And then the week afterwards, we might go ahead and start moving upwards. So however long that takes, it's pretty much pointless, just because we are at the bottom of the VIX and there's only one way to go now. So expect huge volatility very soon, and that'll pretty much produce the bottom. But as far as this, how it's correlated to DXY, so if you can tell here, it broke out of the key trending area since we've been at, since I would say 2021. We've been trending along the support line, and we broke out of this and then came back to find support here. We broke down underneath it, but if the VIX decides to spike up within the next 2 weeks, you can seriously bet that there will be strong demand for DXY, and it's going to go ahead and go up. Just think about it. People are converting their assets to cash, right? So everybody goes cash, especially if there's another leg down. So pretty much another sell signal right there, a crash signal. It's indicating that, hey, the VIX has bottomed, it's going to find support, and it's more than likely going to move upwards very soon and very aggressively, just because it is at extremes. So I've never seen the VIX break out to extremes like that, especially in the recent timeline. So if we go ahead and do that, this will more than likely rocket. And if this rockets temporarily, assets come down, tech assets and risk assets like crypto. So if that were to happen, more than likely what's going to happen here is this is the stock market. This is the S&P 500. So we were doing our bear flag here. I moved this. This used to be right here because I thought we were going to break under. But instead we're getting a fake pivot here. So what I think, once we go ahead and finish off being at extremes, because right now we're at extremes. Once we get the information, whatever ends up happening, whatever the information is, we're at extremes and we're going to sell off, roll over, and more than likely we're going to come down here. It's going to be very aggressive. Just look at these times. Days and days of continued selling, right? We'll still go down here. But I do believe something like this might happen. So if the DXY and VIX, because right now they're correlated, they're both at bottoms and at extremes, when they get their bounce back up, this will put major selling pressure on the stock market, and this is what you're going to see, a strong leg down. That's going to come within the next couple of weeks, so don't be very prepared, because those are huge opportunities you're about to see, and it won't last long. This is the area that I think we're going to start to see, but I think we're going to get a bounce at it because the Fed is still talking 50-50 probability about us seeing a hard landing versus a soft landing. I believe we're going to go ahead and see a soft landing bounce into a hard landing. As look at how oversold everything is, and look at we're still tightening into a recession. Like, we're still, even 25 basis points at a time, that's still a lot into a recession. And right now, what we're looking at is earnings. If anything misses by a lot, you'll see. At some point, bad news is going to become bad news instead of good news, and good news will become good news, right? So it's already starting to happen. Just be very vigilant for that and expect the next leg down. It's pretty much imminent. We may try and break here just so we can capture more liquidity. And then when it comes back down, it'll come back down to the 32, 33, 3400 area. It'll bounce around that. And as far as what that means for Bitcoin, we're here. In the overall trend that we've had and the support line that we're currently following here, we're still going to see that, I believe, that dump. Final leg down. Right now we are completing this hump, and it just goes ahead and further proves that, hey, we're going to get a bottom at some point in the 9 to 12, maybe 13,000 area. We'll see if it follows here. This is a bullish divergence. We've actually come back in touch at some point. If it comes back and tries to touch, it'll, let's see. This points at March, the closest we can get to completing that bullish divergence touch into 13,800 area. See, so we'll see where we go. These are really key areas to be looking out for opportunities, because certain assets will bottom first than others into the first bounce. Again, I do believe we're going to get a recession. This will be a bounce into that. So the reason I say that, and this is how, if you go back and check, every time that the Fed has paused, we get a run on the market. Every time they pivot, we get a crash because they have to come in, drop interest rates to rescue. It's the opposite of what people think. You may get a short-term pump for maybe a week or a few days, but after that, you crash hard, and you do. If you go back and look, you do. So what that means for crypto, we still have one final leg down. And as far as the VIX, you're about to see some major volatility coming soon into these areas. So just stay prepared, and yeah, I'll keep updating here as soon as we get further bigger information. So have a good day. Good luck trading.